Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with the Forgotten City, Blind. Now, I am going to go to the upper cistern and see if with the bow I cannot create some path that would lead me to it. I certainly there's a vine right here which leads to something. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess I have two different bows. That's just a pouch of money. That doesn't really help me. At this point. So, where even was the upper cistern? I don't really even remember. Here. I will go and see if I can get Decius's vote somehow, although giving him this particular bow seems like insanity, because he's clearly, you know, a scoundrel with no ethical code whatsoever. So it seems a little dangerous to allow him such power.
Be careful who you trust.
Hello there, partner. I'm glad you're here. I think there might have been some confusion about my little practical joke earlier. You see, my plan was to give you a little fright, you know, like two friends joking around at the Saturnalia, and then, surprise, I'd open the door. But when I opened it, you were gone.
I don't believe you.
Partner, I swear, this is just a misunderstanding. Look, why don't you keep our bow as compensation?
You mean my bow? Don't worry, I'm keeping it.
Fine. It's a credit to you that you're able to see the humour in all of this. Now, can I help you with something?
Yes.
Sentius, I suppose. Stability is always good for business.
I'd like you to vote for Galerius.
Yeah? And what's he gonna do for me? He's nothing.
Would a gift change your mind? Actually, let me
Sentius.
let me save first, because as I said, it does seem a little insane to give him that bow. He's a psycho.
Sentius, I suppose. Yeah? And what's he gonna do for me?
Would a gift change your mind?
Certainly. For a few thousand denarii.
Are you sure it won't break the golden rule?
Nothing illegal about it.
Well, here's 3,000.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
I'll be
Very
going.
well. Another time.
Okay, so I think he has enough votes to win, right? I'm not sure. save, just to be safe.
A new face, Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia.
Okay, call the election now.
As a very
Although, wouldn't what's his name, Malleolus, still attack? Which is going to render it all moot. I guess I can, because the original breaking of the Golden Rule can be traced to him. Like, if I did nothing, he would win the election and then break it. So maybe I can provide enough evidence so that Sentius has him locked up, and then he wouldn't do anything. Because I haven't talked to Sentius in like forever.
body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helver. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Sentius.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
Sentius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. But it seems we have a draw. In the absence of a clear consensus, Sentius shall continue as acting magistrate until a new election is held, 1 month from today.
My fellow citizens, today you have sent me a message, and I want you to know I have heard it loud and clear. I vow to spend...
Okay, so he's making the coup anyway, but it seems I have to convince one more person, somehow.
As agreed, we shall dispense.
I want to load the previous manual save. Is it this? But I'm not entirely sure how to convince more of them. Like,
Isn't the great temple majestic?
it's just gorgeous.
A fellow traveler from
And
a faraway
Virgil.
land. Great. Sentius, I suppose.
Anything I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
Hmm.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
And what about you, Virgil?
Sometimes I stare at the great... Ah, a new face. Salve. Well, Sentius seems to know what he's doing. My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, I definitely am a little confused, but I will talk to Sentius and at least try to get him to arrest
smile on you.
Malleolus.
Harvey, we're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Matthias, and we've had this conversation before.
We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule. I must have is that...
Well, I couldn't stop it from being broken.
Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you sought me out again for a reason?
Yes, actually. Can you release him?
You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been.
What exactly did he do?
Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and most importantly, he is able to continue living. A privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule-breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else?
What do you think of the Golden Rule?
I've had plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can sum up my thoughts. I've always considered my guiding star to be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the Golden Rule, but human failings. The temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question.
Kind of. Do you know a way out of here?
If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already.
What's your story?
Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians.
And what's a decurion?
It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform.
Why are you still wearing it?
As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent.
How did you end up here?
My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company of some stranger. I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest.
How did you become the magistrate?
I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead. Very well.
I was hoping to ask some questions about my investigation.
Ask then.
Well, I guess I don't have any more questions.
Good. Now, was there something else you wanted to discuss?
Yes, but...
Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
I'll save first, just in case.
Ah, you've returned.
Can we talk about who's going to break the golden rule?
Of course. What is it?
I've already figured out how to stop at least one person from breaking it. What happens now?
Well, if you've stopped one person from breaking it and you're still here, then there must be someone else about to break it still. Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the instructions came with a warning about paradoxes. The crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that your very being here is impossible, you will have created a paradox. To illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, I will open the doorway that will bring you here to prevent it from being broken. If you manage to succeed in saving our lives, then I will have no reason to open the doorway, and you will never have come here. A paradox, you see? The same thing would happen if you, say, inadvertently, allowed me to die. If I can't summon you, then you can't be here, obviously. If either of those things were to happen, I am given to understand you would be flung back to your original time, having changed the course of history for us and yourself. So the fact that you are still here means someone is going to break the golden rule, and there is yet work to do. Understand?
So I could end it by killing him, but I don't want to do it. He seems a decent enough person within the scope of his own society. Like, sure, he has huge blind spots, but it's because his culture considers things that modern humans consider abhorrent to be just everyday facts of life. You can hardly, like, I think it's a bit stupid to judge ancient people by the modern standard of morality. I think so.
Excellent. So, it looks like you'll have to continue your investigation.
I think I know who it is.
Yes?
Well, it might be all of them, literally. But it's Malleolus.
Why do you say that?
When he wins the election, he's going to convict you of treason and sentence you to death.
What? I'm speechless. How do you know? Of course, this isn't your first loop, is it? Well then, you must stop him from winning the election. I expect you'll need some kind of leverage on him, but I can't be seen to be involved in this, of course, so you'll be on your own. You'd better not waste any time. And may Swada, goddess of persuasion, go with you.
Yeah, but he already resigned.
Good, thank you.
So that part is actually already solved.
Ah, you've returned. Of course. Yes? Why do you say that? What? I'm speechless. I can't... Good.
Okay, I already solved the Malleolus question.
Of course.
So I guess I have to go through them sort of one by one. Why isn't Navia here? It's Domitius.
Why do you say that?
He's been soliciting bribes to allow people to talk to Malleolus.
So I'm told. But while that is distasteful, asking for tributes is not uncommon, so I don't think it's going to break the golden rule. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now...
It might also be because supposedly he's trying to intimidate people into voting for Malleolus.
So I'm told. This is truly atrocious behavior, which undermines the very foundations of our democracy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one?
Well, not necessarily. There's so many factors. Like, to be honest, at this point, Malleolus is out of the election, so, you know, if whatever Domitius did broke the golden rule, we would all be dead already.
Ah, I see. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Of course. Yeah.
I think it's Decius.
Why do you say that?
He asked for help figuring out how to turn people into gold to make money.
When you say he asked for help, you're not thinking of helping him, are you?
Not anymore.
Good. But still, he's been trying to enlist help with this for months. Even if you don't help him, it's only a matter of time before he becomes desperate enough to do it himself. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one?
No, to be honest, out of all of them, I would blame Malleolus originally. But I can't. It's interesting.
Ah, I see.
It's interesting that I can't. It's Ulpius.
Why do you say that?
I kind of don't want to rat him out, but then again, I do have unlimited tries. We'll get back to that.
Ask them. Good.
It's Virgil.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, those are all irrelevant. At least one resident thinks that his sexuality makes him a sinner. I don't think that's relevant.
Why? Because he prefers the company of men? Ridiculous. Romans have always been tolerant of such predilections. I simply cannot believe that his innate preferences would break the golden rule. If I were you, I'd be looking for whichever idiot is making those accusations. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Sextus?
Yeah, that's fair. I did think that was pretty stupid, actually. It's Rufius.
Why do you say that?
He's becoming increasingly threatening to Virgil because of his sexuality.
Then you'd better find a way to make him back down, hadn't you? I'm quite sure you're capable of containing that half-wit. Go and do it.
Yeah, I already did.
Good, thank you.
It's Santia Lucretia.
Why do you say that?
She threatened to scratch Decius's eyes out if she lost another patient because of him. Threats are theoretically illegal, but I'm not sure how robust that kind of protection would have been in ancient Rome.
Well then, you'd better make sure she doesn't lose another patient, hadn't you? Whatever it takes, do it.
Yeah,
It looks like you'll
I
have to
already did it though.
ask. Oh,
I think it's Galerius.
why do you say that?
He's killed before. Yeah, to be honest, half of those reasons are kind of stupid, but I will try them all. He's an escaped slave, he's angry and resentful towards you, and he's killed before.
You managed to extract all that from him. Well done. And I have noticed his contemptuous stares, but I had no idea he was so dangerous. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one?
No.
Ah, I see. It looks...
Talking smack about your own daughter is
Of
probably
course.
not the best idea, but I'll try it. It's Cynthia.
Why do you say that?
She seems awfully relaxed about Scintilla's disappearance.
You seem to be grasping at straws here. I can assure you, she is most upset about her sister. As am I. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask?
So, wait, so what is my quest currently? Tell Centius about the assassin. I can't, actually. I can tell him about Ulpius.
You've... Oh. Why do you...
I believe he was seeing Scintilla in secret before she disappeared. I suspect he knows what happened to her.
You suspect? I confess, I don't have a lot of sympathy for Ulpius, but you're going to need a lot more than suspicion to get to the bottom of this. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now...
I can't tell him about the assassin, that's one thing.
Why do...
And I'm mostly...
I can't be seen. You... Good.
I'm mostly sort of weirded out by this. Like, I've already stopped this.
How did you get in there, you cheeky?
And he doesn't seem to acknowledge. Maybe I didn't? Didn't I talk to him in this? Where even is he?
Leave me be.
Yeah, I think he's out, so I don't understand the way this is set up.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
A new face, Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. Oh, let me hug, sit, and so. Shh. As.
Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here.
Yeah, so this is the same
As I met the
kind of.
It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. Leaving that aside for... Then can you...
I talked about it already before. She said, wade against the current, whatever that means.
That is strange. There are no rivers here. Let me think on that.
Perhaps I need to get to the upper cistern.
Right, because the current flows into the city through the aqueduct and into the upper cistern. I vaguely recall wondering what was in there, but the door at the back of the Great Temple is locked up tight. You might be able to get a key from the magistrate, but if that doesn't work, perhaps you can find another way in. Let me know if you find anything in there. May Fortuna guide you.
I kind of need Dooley out of prison if I want to make headway, because I don't think Sentius is going to give me the key.
Shalom. All right, friend.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Citizen? Ah, you've returned. Do you...
May I have the key to the upper cistern?
I think it's best if I hang on to it.
Why?
You mean to ask, why am I unwilling to trust a newly arrived non-citizen with access to our water supply, the lifeblood of this city? I'm sorry, but that is simply out of the question.
I think you're hiding something.
Yes, our water supply. From you. I wasn't born yesterday. Poisoning a city's water supply is the oldest trick in the Codex. Quite literally. Aeneas the Tactician wrote a siegecraft manual for military commanders some 300 years ago, recommending the poisoning or pollution of cisterns. And I'm beginning to wonder if the culprit we're looking for might, after all this, be you. Perhaps it was a mistake on my part to place so much trust in you.
Well, I'm getting into that cistern with or without your help.
I doubt that very much, since I'll be keeping the key around my neck at all times from now on. But in any case, was there something else? Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
So I guess I have to look for that other way, because that's the only place I haven't been in. And I do need the plaques. And I also do need to happen to find Scintilla. There is another way, it's clear. The game pretty much tells me that sort of verbatim. I just need to figure it out.
That's quite an impress. Ave again. Did you... See you again soon, I hope.
Oh, wait. There's, in this cistern over here, there's a bunch of vines.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I am, actually.
Whoa.
There's a vine in here that I can climb. So this should lead me somewhere. Okay. Is that Scintilla?
You. Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Matthias and nobody sent me.
Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back.
What is going on here? Did her father imprison her?
I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Thorn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who did this to you? Is it Sentius?
Sentius.
Yeah.
My adoptive father. Furies help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
How hasn't this broken the golden rule?
I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape either.
Where is the way out?
Behind me. There's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key.
What will you do if I release you?
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
Yeah, I can. I will obviously let her go, because even if she messes it up and the loop resets, maybe I can advance it a little bit different on the next attempt. What about the others?
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
Well, what if I round everyone up so they are ready to escape once the golden rule is broken?
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never.
I will let you go, actually. Although I don't want to flee myself, I want to free the others. Like, I would like to keep her imprisoned for a little bit until I devise a plan how to save the others. But I worry that if I choose this, it's just going to be a blank statement that I don't want to help her, which is not true. I guess I'm letting you go. Let's get out of here together.
Oh, thank you. Now follow. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
Well, you're human garbage, you know that?
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
You remember, Al?
Come now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one loop to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you're a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunting. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. How many extra days did you give me? Just the 8? Not a lot compared with Al, but I've seized every day, nonetheless. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I might kill you. Because, to be honest, you're insane and a monster, but also, you knew there was a way out, and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
No. This is literally hell to me. The thought of living, of my consciousness enduring forever, is horrifying to me. Like, even the thought of a Christian heaven is horrifying to me. Like, an eternity of praising God. Like, where's the fun in that? I at some point, you would want a switch, an off switch. But there isn't one, supposedly. It's terrible. So, you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule, knowing that I would fail every time.
Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. It is inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this, but where others might see tragedy, I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death by reliving the same day over and over again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how he's planning on stopping me from killing him, which would also create a paradox, supposedly. You're going to die a painful death for this.
Do you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
I probably could, but I'm going to let her have this one.
Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Yeah, but they all remain trapped there, right? Or did that place get destroyed? Because to be honest, I would prefer...
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fray. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Alworth, I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Matthias. I was hoping you would know who I am.
Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kinda rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, the only person to survive was Scintilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Yeah, that was me. I feel kind of bad about this because supposedly all of those statues are still alive. I would have preferred if that place disintegrated somehow. That was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
When I first arrived here in the present day, I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
I still have the suicide note you carved into this tablet. Here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate.
I'm not following.
I helped Scintilla kill the man who opened the time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this?
Yes.
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Enough talk. How about we get out of this place?
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it.
It's right here in this cistern. Follow me. Yeah, I do feel pretty bad about this. I will probably reload and try for a different ending. Like, my dream ending for this game would be if I somehow managed to free all of them. Like, just free them from this kind of purgatory that they are all in. Where is it that I'm going exactly? I don't have any items apart from the flashlight.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
Ah, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
Well, I discovered your real name is Harun. Or was it Curti?
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you really?
You can just call me Carolyn, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth
in their own time.
And what truth is that?
That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
How did I die?
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
Yeah, kind of.
As you wish. You were murdered. You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Karen's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here.
But what's so special about these coins, and what's the point of the entire afterlife loop?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferrymen for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here.
Why?
That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible, in light of the path you have chosen. I am just his servant, doing his bidding. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
What? That's kind of stupid. Like, the theological implications of that are kind of insane. Because what she's saying is, there is afterlife, but only for 1,000 people out of the billions that are alive. What? Can you return us to the land of the living?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Cynthia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you, that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
I guess. Yeah, I feel pretty bad about this. How many would have survived if you had confronted the god of the underworld? Yeah, that's kind of my question. I will try the other endings. Apparently there are 4. So, will you reload in a convenient spot for me, or not quite? I'll skip the credits for now. Oh, I'll watch them when I'm finally done with it. I am done with this episode, but I am not done with the game because I will reload and try for the other endings. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.